It's a beautiful day here on the prairies in Saskatchewan, Canada. The leaves are all turning. The garden is done for the season, and it's time to clean up the beds and get things ready for the winter. So I'm going to make up some mulch for my flower beds right now. I have some leaves here from the spring. I bagged these up and just left them in the bush here to kind of deteriorate and break down so that they make a nice organic fertilizer for the garden bed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump them into my tub here and use my whipper snipper just to mulch them up a little bit more, mix them in with some compost and some old manure, and just make a nice mulch to put onto the flower beds. We haven't had a lot of leaves dropping on the ground yet, so not too many fall leaves to collect, but as they start to die off and drop on the ground, I will be collecting more and using them this fall or bagging them up for next spring. So you can see the leaves are still, like, they're partially broken down, but they're still pretty big. So if you just run your weed whacker in there, chops it up real nice, quick, and makes a really good organic mulch for your garden. So I'm just going to mix this up a bit. It's probably a good idea to be wearing safety glasses, or make sure you turn away because can be a lot of stuff flying out of here. Mix it up a bit. I don't know if you can see this. See, I have a nice light, almost like compost now. It's broken down nicely. So I'm just going to keep doing that with all these leaves here. So before we head over to the flower bed to mulch around on my lasagna garden, I decided I'm going to use some of this aged manure that I got from my dad this spring. It's just like black dirt right now. I'm going to mix it in with these leaves and use that to start off for this next layer around in my flower bed. I'm just going to mix the two up, and then we'll head on over there to spread it around. So we're just going to head over to the lasagna garden now and put another layer on for the fall. So all the annuals have been cleaned out of this lasagna garden bed, and I'm going to leave some of these herbs in here just to see if the oregano or sage or the chives come back. I got some irises here that I transplanted from my mother's garden last fall, and they came back really good. So I think I will do is, in my gardening book, logbook, make sure I write down what is in here now for perennials and where they are, because I always find in the middle of winter, when you start planning for next year, kind of forget where you planted things and what you planted. So I went to my mom's yard last week and dug up something that I don't know what it is, but there was lots of it growing throughout her backyard. It had little yellow flowers, so we'll see in the spring what those turn out to be. And I got a nice batch of daylilies from her garden as well, so I'm hoping that these will handle the winter and come back in the spring. So I want to make sure that the whole garden bed here gets a little bit of that nice black dirt that I had from my dad's manure pile. So I've spread it throughout just to make sure everything gets a little bit of that high nutrient dirt in it first before we pack on the leaves. So this tub of leaves and composted material didn't quite make it through the whole bed, but we got through quite a bit of it here. And as you can see, it's a nice layer that's going to cover the ground, break down over the winter. I'll keep piling up leaves. As long as the snow doesn't hit the ground, I will keep collecting leaves and spreading them on my garden. As you can see, I have some huge poplar trees that are just turning a beautiful yellow, and probably in the next week or two the leaves will start dropping and blowing, so the leaf collecting process will start. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I would love to hear your comments below on how your fall garden prepping is going. As you can see, in the last couple days the wind has come up and we have no end of leaves here again in my yard. So I'm going to start collecting them, and if you'd like to see how I do it, please hit the subscribe button and watch for the next video. Thanks for watching.